Oh, look at this crowd, man. That stadium is awesome. If you've never watched these races in real life, like on YouTube or something, I should say, look them up. The crowds are literally this packed.
Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.
YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. Welcome back to Gallop Racer 2023, aka Gallop Racer 2004. I haven't played in 2 weeks because I've been busy, and you guys can see I've been uploading some other Gallop Racers and stuff. It makes playing this game much more enjoyable for me because I actually take a break. Like, if I just played this game non-stop and I never touched the other Gallop Racers again, like, I would get bored of this game. It's actually what used to happen. Remember, some of you that have been here for years, that's why I wouldn't upload this game as much, because I was only playing this game and I just got burnt out as much as I love it. Like, I need variety. I have to play my other games. That way when I come back, I'm like, I missed it. I'm ready to go. Thank you guys so much for love and support on the channel as of lately. And just a reminder, if you're new, you can join our Discord. It's been great having everybody in there. It's really been an awesome time. Discord should be in the description box below. And you can see everything. We have several people in there that are exercise riders, jockeys, just everything. We're getting more people within the industry actually joining our server, which is so cool. So for any of you that are a part of that and have joined, so glad you're here. Welcome. And thank you guys so much for the positive comments and feedback. It means a lot, and I'm just glad we can have a community like that. So we have a lot to get to. It's July 1st, year 40. We're 2.5 years away from the Dream Series. Our 2-year-olds are here. I did the tack, and I think I did that off screen. I didn't even show you guys. So we're going to start off today. I want to show you the tack, but I also want to get into a race. Sometimes I feel like it takes too long to get into the first race. So here's what we'll do. We'll actually start off today with the race, and then we'll show you the tack of our 2-year-olds. And Cook just gave me this random 2-year-old colt, Precious Scene. Now, I have seen this horse. I've ran against this horse. It's just kind of been an afterthought. Not bad. Normal growth type. Perfect response rating. 9 to 12 furlongs. Mid to procedure. Good leg type. Turf only. 78 speed, so probably will top out at like 85, 86. Not bad. Stamina's not great. Decent power rating. In fact, the stats are in the 60s. Should all hopefully hit just a low to mid 70. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. Instant response and delicate. I think Hook gave me this horse, or maybe I purchased it. Because I wanted horses with different abilities. I want to kind of switch that up a bit. For future sires and brood mares, we're kind of breeding the same abilities, which is fine for consistency, but we want to add some new stuff in there. So Precious Scene, delicate and instant response. Dominator not good, or dominate not good. I'm not really worried about that. But should be a decent stud, so we're going to be kicking off here today with the Grade 1 Tokyo Cup with Formal Method. She's been on an absolute roll. And let's check out her record so far. The Formal Method is so stacked, man. She's really nice. Terrible power rating, but she's a dirt horse. She doesn't need it. Grit, that's all she needs. She's 2 for 2 Grade 1s. She won the Kentucky Oaks. She won the Preakness Stakes. And now we're putting her in the Tokyo Cup, so keeping her on the right path. Let's get into today's episode, which should be episode 251. Who are you racing with? Laughing Hawk. I just don't want to do these jockey challenges. What is the actual point? The Tokyo Derby will be kicking us off today. And Formal Method, she's been on a roll. That's a 3-year-old filly we're about to race with. For some reason, what? Every video, I'm saying something stupid that doesn't make any sense. For some reason, I'm feeling, it's a weird feeling. I don't know how to describe it. We should win this, but this is the longest distance I've run her. I've been running her at 9 and 9.5 furlongs. Laughing Hawk is here. Crescent Beta isn't a bad horse. True Fighter, the 11 horse, is a pretty scary closer. I'm a little bit uneasy. We're the heavy favorite by at least $2. We have the highest speed figure, I think, in this field, but 10 furlongs is a long way to go with a horse that only has 59 stamina and 23 power, which, again, shouldn't be too big of a deal on the dirt. She's only a 6 to 8 furlong horse. To be honest with you, like running her 9 is probably like her max. 9.5. She did win the Preakness. That's a pretty tough race, but I think that's the longest I can run her. For some reason, I feel like running her 10 might be a little bit too long. So, yeah, a little bit uneasy. Because I've played this game long enough to know that just because you have a horse with 91 speed doesn't mean that they can go into a 10 furlong race with 59 stamina when they're only supposed to run 6 to 8 furlongs. Like, I don't know if this is the best situation for her. So we'll see. We're the favorite. We have to get the win. If we don't, well, that is not going to be an ideal way to start today. But we're off in the Tokyo Derby. Hopefully we can set the pace here. Crescent Beta. That 6 horse is probably going to try to run with us for the lead. And there goes Crescent Beta. Why are you doing this to me, man? You know my girl can't run at the front like that. I hate that they program the AI. You know what's crazy? Horses in Japan don't even do this. I've watched enough Japanese horse racing. You don't get front runners like this often. Okay, I've watched quite a bit. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's unusual for this to happen. At my local track, Thistledown, I have seen more horses take off like this and then finish nowhere at the end of the race. It doesn't really happen like this in Japan. So I'm surprised that they would put that into the game. Because after all, Tecmo was a Japanese gaming company at the time. Therefore, most of the horse racing in this game is based off of Japanese horse racing, not American horse racing or even European. Like, it's mainly predicated on Japanese horse racing. It's like, I've watched enough. Look how far we are, dude. They're what, 10 lengths back? The pace isn't that fast, but I'm not feeling this. She doesn't have great stamina to begin with, and to run 10 furlongs, this is asking a lot, man. Oh, I'm nervous. I feel like this is such a stretch. I'm going to give it a shot. Going to give it a shot, but gosh, how is she going to hold on for a furlong? There's no way. How else am I supposed to run her? She's a front runner. You know what I mean? Who is that closing? Laughing Hawk? Yep. That's why I didn't accept that jockey challenge, because Laughing Hawk is going to get us. And we're going to finish second. We weren't supposed to win that race, clearly. I was nervous about it from the beginning because I'm like, this is a stretch in distance. Couple good horses in this field. They only gave her favoritism because she had a 91 speed figure. I hate when the game does that. And I know I'm not the only one that knows what I'm talking about. The game will sometimes give you favoritism even in a situation where you know you shouldn't be the favorite just because of your horse's stats. It's like, if this was a real handicapping situation, people will be talking about her endurance as saying maybe this is a bit too long. She has a great speed figure, but running 10 furlongs is nothing to sneeze at. That's well over a mile. I don't think she would be the favorite. She'd be in the top 3, top 5, but Laughing Hawk should have been the favorite. Oh, that's annoying. Not ideal. I just come back to the game, and already they're just essentially tossing me to the wolves, huh? She's 6 to 8 furlongs, so I have to keep her 9 or shorter. That's not ideal, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's not ideal at all. It's kind of frustrating, but I didn't feel good about that going in. I'm just like, this is a bit of a stretch, and these horses aren't like terrible horses to run against. So, is she in the GWS? I just thought about it. No, she's not. I don't even know if it's worth putting her. I'm really worried about her distance. Call me a fraidy cat or whatever, but I'm worried she can't run that long. If I settle her for a grade 2, is that really worth it? Like, you know what? The first stake should be a lot better. 9 furlongs is a whole furlong. If that race was a furlong shorter, she would have won it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think I have to keep her 6 to 8. I can't run her above, or 6 to 9. I can't run her above that. So second place, unfortunately, not ideal, but still, it's a place finish. We're supposed to win. We didn't. I wasn't feeling good about that from the jump, but it is what it is. We'll not let it derail our day. Spinning Post is here. Which race? Oh, this is a grade 3. Okay. Bolero. Tease me with my horses I can't ride. I hate this game sometimes. But she's only won once. She's been the look, They're giving her favoritism probably because of her stats, but she's not winning. You see it right on screen. She was supposed to win the last 2 races. She finished 8th and 14th. And then she was supposed to finish 2nd in the Grade 3 Florida Derby, I'm assuming, or Florida, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the Florida Derby. And she finished 13th out of 14th. You know, that's what I mean. This game will give your horses favoritism strictly based off of their stats, not even like merit alone. Joint Soldier, 3-year-old filly, no abilities, good speed and stamina. She's like Valley King without the good power rating. The Grade 1 Dublin Oaks, Joint Soldier. Gosh, I don't need to be taking on more horses, man. I'm already overwhelmed with how many horses we have right now. Anybody here? And I'm only checking these races because I'm still looking for Electric Arrow. Like he has not popped up in a while. So we have 2 races coming up. The Grade 3 Star Festival Handicap featuring Vivid Eyes. We're just keeping her on this path until I retire her. And then we'll have the Grade 1 Long Beach Cup with Little Mai, who is going for her GWS Dirt Championship. 12 wins and 14 starts with 6 Grade 1s. The daughter, the late great Secretariat tier, is Little Mai, by former opera out of Moon Trappa. And do you have titles? I don't think you do. She doesn't. Why do I need to negotiate? Aren't I already riding? Oh, you can cancel. Okay, that's right. I forgot that's how it looks from that screen. All right, the Sprint Cup. I just thought about that. We have nobody in the Summer Sprint. How did I don't even know how I missed this race. Somebody should be in this race. Close race, not good. Ugh. Lemon Salmon's a good horse, but I don't like the stamina. I don't like the power. I don't like the distance. I know it's a sprinter, but close race not good for a sprinter. Like, well, I don't know. I've seen people make great horses out of Lemon Salmon. Just not my thing. I'm not even going to talk negatively of the horse. Close race not good. Golden Monster traumatized me. That was it. All it took was racing with Golden Monster one time to make me realize I never want a horse with close race not good again. And that was like very early days, people. That was like in real life years ago. That was like Golden Monster was very early days on this channel for this series. So the Star Festival Handicap is here. Grade 3 territory, 10 furlongs on the turf with Vivid Eyes. She is the favorite. Not by a lot, though. It's a pretty competitive field. Any horse in the top 10 could win, which is crazy. Like, seriously, there's 10 out of 14 horses that could all kind of win this race, and you really wouldn't be surprised. There's not like we're not the clear favorite. We're the favorite by 20 cents. That's nothing. So Vivid Eyes. She's done well. She's done well enough. She's a Hall of Famer. She won the GWS Turf. Don't forget that. She is actually a Hall of Famer. So she may not look that great, but she's held her own. She's held her own. So pretty happy with that, to say the least. Strong Devil with the record here. Let's see how she does. I would hate to start today with like 2 losses in races I should have won, but like the game's not helping me. These races aren't like absolute wins. Formal method, to me, we shouldn't have been the favorite. We should have been the 3rd favorite in that race, but because of her speed and her stats, they just gave her favoritism. Ridiculous. It's kind of like how the betting public works in real life sometimes, where people are strictly just betting on a horse just because of its connections. And I get that, because usually the connections come through, but like they will blindly turn, their face to actual evidence that should support that maybe that horse isn't the best suited horse to win this race, but people will still bet on that horse just because of the connections alone. You know what I mean? Like, Gallop Racer, I guess, is kind of doing the same thing. Just looking at a horse's stats and its connections and saying this horse should win by at least $2. Like, it's not how it works, man. It's not really how it works all the time. I think you watch enough horse racing, especially, at least here in the States and North America, you can see it's happened several years now where sometimes the major horse that was bet in the public did not come through because it just wasn't the best horse for that particular race, or maybe they didn't have the right trip, whatever the case was, right? Now, Vivid Eye, she can still run, man. It's going to be tough. 12 is still there on the inside. Field is closing far long. She's got plenty left. She can kick. She should be able to kick. 14 is closing. Oh, this is... I was worried. I said anybody can win this race. She's still fighting. Come on, Vivid. She's going to get third or second. Look how many... What I say? I said 10 horses can win that race. Look how many horses are within 2 lengths of each other. There was... Let's see the margins. Let's see the margins. Yeah, the top 8 were all within a nose and a neck of each other. I wasn't lying for a reason. But we hit our goal, thank goodness. That's all that matters. This is the limit. Look at that muscle loss. He's not wrong because she is on the decline, so she probably is losing a bit of muscle as she gets older. So the game is, like I said, tossing me to the wolves, giving me favoritism, and then doing it in races where it realistically is not a guarantee I'm going to win because the fields are pretty stacked, or the horse in Formal Methods case just wasn't ideally suited for that race, which that's my fault. I put her in the race. The game didn't. Now, this is a race I should feel confident with Little Mai, and they don't give me favoritism. A watch will win this. This is how this game is going to work. I guarantee it. This is how it's going to go today. So not telling me her leg type, that's fine. Desert Navy is the favorite, that's fair. I'm not really worried about anybody else. Fine shows, decent clear asset. Yeah, some decent horses here. But I've been running her as a closer, right? Yeah, so I have the benefit of doing that, and we should be able to take advantage. She's still fast enough with good heart to make something happen. Clear asset, not that fast, still good heart, good feel. That horse will be in a good rhythm. Desert Navy, faster than us. Who has better stamina? We do by 8 points. That could be the difference. And we have 20 points better heart. That could be the difference. We're only 6 points down in the speed category, but we have much more heart and we have better stamina. So as long as I run right, I hope Desert Navy runs towards the front. Because what are the odds that she has the same leg type as we do? I know it says question marks, but that's why. It's because she basically inherited Formal Opera's leg type, which is all the triangles shaded in this game. Her max distance, I don't know why they're still hiding that from me. That doesn't make sense, but yeah. It's kind of like running an alternate, kind of like a different version of like Little Mai. Desert Navy has some good abilities. I've seen some people use her and the type of horses they get from her. She's definitely a good filly to use, so... Like, I would use her if I saw her in the shop, but she, like, never pops up for us, So we kick off today with 2 supposed to be wins, which I think were unrealistic. Like, I wouldn't have booked myself as the favorite in either of those races. I wouldn't have. This is a race I would potentially book myself as the favorite because Little Mai is 12 for 14, and she's the daughter of the guy that sets the record here, Formal Opera, so... And she's shown that she can do that, throughout her career. And she has 6 grade 1s on the dirt to back it up. So I would give myself favoritism here, even though Desert Navy is equally as good of a horse in her own way. Those other 2 races, I would have said we should have been third in both. And that's realistically what we finished. Like, there's no shame to admit where you should finish in a race. Like, there doesn't have to be this, like, macho, I have to be the best, I can never lose a race in Gallop Racer. Like that, I feel like that's a weird mindset to have, Sometimes the AI does get the better of you. Like, to me, that should keep you wanting to play the game, right? I just don't see the point in playing if you're just going to win all the time. That's never resonated with me, at least. I still want a challenge. I like to win, obviously, a majority, but I still want to have challenges to remind me I'm not there yet. Even when you think you got it in the bag, you don't. Even the best, most humble or talented athletes in the world still eventually get humbled by somebody, whether they lose or not. It could just be how tough the challenge is. That could be humbling, Flightline was pushed in his last race at the Breeders' Cup, man. He was pushed. He earned that. He was going to win it most likely, like he did, of course, but he was still pushed. And that, to me, is what makes him a great horse for what he's accomplished. I knew that was going to happen. I just moved too late. Go! My gosh! Go, move! I was trying to move in the direction. You're still... How wide do you need to move? Oh my goodness, man. Messing up my momentum. Come on, little Mai. Let's roll. Do the AI want to be stupidly annoying? Got to catch the 3. The 5 is with us as well. And Desert Navy doesn't even beat us. Oh, man. It's turning into that type of day, isn't it? Fine show. I did mention that horse's name, didn't I? We would have won that race if I wasn't constantly getting blocked. I was genuinely trying to move. I swear my right directional wasn't actually working like it was supposed to. Because I knew they were going to keep drifting out. I played this game enough. I knew the AI, whoever was in front of us, was going to keep drifting and keep drifting. I started a little bit later than I wanted to, but gosh, imagine that. No wins so far. That's rough. I also haven't played in 2 weeks. It's been a little bit longer of a hiatus than I've usually had, so I definitely have to do better. We have nobody in the GWS turf yet. And fine show, 3 points ahead of us because of that victory. That's annoying. It's a tough year for us. I mean, we got fine show, Eccentric Gold, Wonder Whale, Clear Asset. These are not Desert Navy. These are not like easy horses. These are some of the best horses in the game at their respective, distances and course preferences. Like these aren't horses to sneeze at. Now, the Sprint Eastside Band is going to run away with that. As good as Lemon Salon, Final Movie, and Wonder Whale are, Eastside Band is like literally a perfect horse. Man, that's rough. Who needs Vivid Eyes? Yeah, I guess I need to be done with Vivid Eyes. She's won her Hall of Fame. I'm going to put her in a race late next year. And we'll retire her for breeding, hopefully before the next breeding. I forgot I can't. That's so weird to me that, like, usually with horses that are well past their prime, you can race them almost a year in the future and they'll be fine with it. She apparently still wants to run quite frequently. Like, she's mad if she doesn't race in 3 months. That's, wow. Or 4 months. You know what I mean? Like, she's not even ready to be done racing, so... That's kind of how Vivid Legend was, right? Vivid Legend, you couldn't really take too much time off with racing him before he was kind of like, when am I getting back out on the track? They want you in a grade 2. You know what? Whatever, bro. Whatever. At this point, since you're a horse, I'm just kind of waiting to retire. I'll let the AI decide what to do with you. Little Mai. She did finish second in the Universal Cup as well, so it wasn't as if, like, it wasn't as if, she's been on a winning streak. But still, she's been extremely well. Extremely good. You just don't want them to lose races like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, traffic blocked us in that race, so it's kind of... I could have had her in a better position. I have to take responsibility for that. I'm not going to blame it on the horse. It's not even her fault. Can't even 100% blame it on the AI because I've played this game too long, right? I should know better, So I'm going to be a big boy, put my big boy pants on and say that's on me. But it's fine. We'll bounce back. We always do. So the next time I can race her is the World Classic. 10 furlongs. Gotta make it happen, and that's gonna be tough. I know Wonderwell is gonna be there, fine show. Like, that's gonna be a tough race to win. And technically she was at her fastest like a year ago. She's definitely dropped a bit, even though she's still extremely competitive. So either way, it would be a shame if she couldn't get into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Because like we just ended up, this has happened to us sometimes where I'm trying to get horses into the Hall of Fame and we run into the most competitive horses at the worst time. But I guess that's kind of the point. You know what I mean? It's always when I'm recording that then people want to text me, not you guys, but like people that I know like outside of like YouTube. Radiant Jewel, tempting, but again I have too many horses. All right, we have the Grade 3 Monument coming up with Pearly Ball and the Grade 3 Sparking coming up with Major River. So, I've been forgetting to name the real races too. Those last 3 races, I apologize. The Tokyo Derby was the Tokyo Daishoten. The Grade 3 Star Festival Handicap was the Hakodate Kinen, and then the race we just ran in the Long Beach Cup was the Santa Anita Gold Cup. So there's that. We will be kicking off here, I believe, with the Grade 3 Sparking Lady Cup. That's what it's called in real life, featuring Major River. No, Pearly Ball in the Monument, which is actually the Leopard Stakes. And we're the favorite. I gotta be honest, I don't want to be the favorite right now. I don't feel like I'm in the proper rhythm. So it's just like added pressure. And I'm not trying to feel right now. I need to get into my rhythm. I don't feel like I'm there yet, you know? Last corner leader, Gret. We should be okay with Pearly Ball. Keyword is should. Keyword is should, but we'll see. Oh, man. Yeah, they said we're going to toss shit to the wolves, the lions, the leopards, the tigers, whatever animal analogy you want to use. They said we're going to do this right off the bat, which is fine. I mean, this is really the hardest part of the year in the game anyways. Like, it's summer. It's the heart of the GWS, grade 1s, Europe racing. Like, it's very tough in the summer, you know. So you gotta make sure you're on your P's and Q's with your horses. And in all honesty, we've only failed one goal, which was with Formal Method, because they just gave us winner. Like, that still cheeses me. Like, she was not, yeah, it was my fault for putting her in that race. Therefore, she shouldn't have been the favorite, but, you know, that was it. We still hit our goals. So technically, we're 2 out of 3. We should win this with Pearly Ball. Strong dude. He hasn't, like, wowed me yet, but I think that's because he's still kind of developing. Sometimes, like, late growth types will wow me pretty soon before they even hit their, you know, peak. But he could turn into an awesome horse that I've just been sleeping on, so I shouldn't, like, you know, take it for granted, right? Now, we should get last corner leader. And last corner leader always helps. If there's one ability I want on my horses above all, it's last corner leader on front runners and proceeders, because it just gives you those 3 extra bars of stamina, that can make all the difference. 10-8 fraction, Pearly Ball looking good. He rolls on to win the Grade 3 Leopard Stakes. That is what we want to see. That feels better, okay? And I felt like I was holding my breath because it's like, 3 races we were the favorite and supposed to win. Well, actually, the race with Little Mai, we were the second favorite, but I still felt like we could have and should have won that. We won that clear by 4 lengths with Pearly Ball. Grade 3, almost a perfect race. Exactly what we need. I feel good. Now, let's try to do the same thing with Major River. Sparking Lady Cup, under the lights in Tokyo. This should be fun. She's the second favorite behind Grand Grease. Okay, fair play. Because, is she even at her peak? She is. Looking at Major River with her stats like this, it's not terrible, right? You're basically getting an 80 speed horse with at least 70 stamina, 70 power, and a great heart rating with good toughness. She doesn't really have a weakness. And she's only dirt, but I mean, she's solid. I'm hoping she'll be worth it for breeding. I hope she doesn't give us like duds of horses and I'll really have a ward against Major River, because, you know, she's my worst enemy in 2003, and like she never beats us. It's just the fact that the AI give her so much confidence when I know she's not going to finish in the top 5. I'll definitely have problems with her across all the games if, like, even if we use her with our best studs in this game, once I retire her and like those horses, those foals come out to be average, I'll be pretty cheesed. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to give her a chance, like I always do. Try to give everybody a fair chance. So we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how it shakes out. But we should get the win. She's been doing pretty well in her races. I haven't felt like there's been anything necessarily holding her back, to say. Like, I feel like her stats aren't 100% representative of what she actually can do performance-wise. Excuse me, sorry about that. I kind of hiccuped at the same time as saying that, so that's why I don't know what that was. I forgot how short this track was. All right, Major, let's get going now. Here we go. Now, can I get the Revolution off of turn 4? Nope. Shouldn't need it. Oh, look at this crowd, man. That stadium is awesome. If you've never watched these races in real life, like on YouTube or something, I should say, look them up. The crowds are literally this packed. Goal of mine is to go watch at least one graded stakes horse race in Japan. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's still a big goal of mine. Because I just love that the people are so appreciative for horse racing over there. I mean, they're like that about all their sports. You know, I really admire that about their culture. As opposed to everywhere else, it's like money first, then we care about the horses, it seems. But, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen in Japan. I'm sure there's corruption everywhere. But as far as the spectators and the people that watch, you can tell they genuinely just appreciate watching the jockeys, the horses, and you know, I feel like you only get that feeling at some of the big grade ones, at least here in the States. Since I'm an American, I'm speaking on that behalf. Our bigger graded stakes races where you have decent crowds, yeah, you can tell people are obviously there to just kind of watch these magnificent horses run. But if you're going to the track on a normal day, it's just like, you know, it's very different. So back-to-back grade 3 wins there, definitely needed. Feeling good, but also those horses a little bit easier to work with, and they're properly booked as far as where they should finish. Like, yeah. Pearly Ball was the favorite, and he should have been in that race, clearly. Major River was the second favorite. She could have been the first, but like I said, I was okay with us getting second favoritism. So, here we go. We haven't finished worse than third today, so it's still a good start. I just wish I could have won the first couple of races, but it happens. Oh, I was going to check something, but actually, I did say I was going to show you guys our tag. We can do that now since we've raced 5 times. Let me get these two in the race, and then we'll see. Busy week here in the last week in July. Diamond Cup as well with Eastern Knife. They want Pearly Ball in this race. Yeah, no, dude. Not saying he can't run it. He's still growing. He's still not even going to hit his peak until he's almost 6. He's only 4.5. I can still race him at like grade 3s for another year. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm in no rush to get this guy into grade 1s yet, because Silver gave him to me for free. Like, you know, he wasn't a horse I had to pay anything for. So I'm not like in a rush to push him to the moon. Like, if he's showing me that he'll be fine once he hits his peak, and we'll get the grade 1s. We'll get him a couple titles, and that's all he needs. I don't really need to treat him as some sacred gem. Like, it's Pearly Ball. He's a double S horse, a good double S horse. Like, his record so far, so you got 5 wins out of 8 starts, 2 finishes in 3rd place, and he's on a winning streak right now, 3 back-to-back wins. I was going to run him at that 14 furlong race, but that doesn't really make sense, does it? 10 furlongs, perfect. Run him in Philadelphia in August. I just want to try to stack his wins. That's all I'm going to do. Stack wins with him with these easier races. And we'll take it from there. So Major River, 11 wins and 23 starts. 1 grade 1. And, do I just not want to run her in grade 1s? I can't remember what my goal was with her. In fact, I keep forgetting. I have everybody's goals in my spreadsheet. I'm just trying to remember it from, like, scratch, and it's like I actually wrote it down for a reason, because I know I would go through this. See, I know myself better than sometimes some of you may think. I'm well aware of all of my attributes and traits as a person, for better or for worse. I'm looking for Major Rivers, sorry. Pearly Ball, his goals I have in my notes is just TBA. I don't even have a plan with Pearly Ball, that's what I mean. Major River, I said anything quality win. See, her goal is just to win. I don't even have like grade 1s with her. And I'm fine with that, because we have other grade 1 fillies and mares legitimately. I don't need to make Major River the same. I think as long as I can be consistent with her and win a lot, that's all she needs. That's all she needs, man. Like, I don't need to get her titles. I don't feel like it's necessary. I feel she could still be a good broodmare as long as I win a lot of races with her at a very consistent level. You know what I mean? These stats are good. Like, she has a good growth type. She has a good leg type. She's fine and a decent distance. So, like, again, I just think sometimes in this game, you just have to be realistic with your horses, and you can't set everybody up for the same plans, right? You just have to know which of your horses are your top tier horses that you want to chase the biggest titles and the biggest races with, and maybe some of your other horses that you just still want to have success with, but you're not holding them to that same standard of like having to win everything in the game, you know? She's not that horse for me. Because I still think with the right stud, she will be a fantastic broodmare for us, which is most important. She doesn't have to be an all-time Hall of Famer to give us good horses. We've gotten plenty of good horses, you know, from non-Hall of Famers. Most of them are, but still, you know what I mean. Like, we've gotten some really awesome horses from broodmares or studs that weren't Hall of Famers or maybe became Hall of Famers, but only won just enough grade ones to get there. Like, they didn't even do anything uberly impressive. I'm going to show you guys the tack of our 2-year-olds, but let's just go to the hall right now. Because I'm just going to name horses that I think have given us good originals, but still weren't like crazy magical. Blues Breeze. I mean, most of his crop have not done. They've been okay. Their stats have not been good enough for me. That's the only reason why I've not used them. In fact, they've been fast like him. They've had good heart. But he's an example, you know, Hall of Famer that, you know, in his case, he hasn't given us the best of horses. But to think of somebody else that maybe didn't achieve that much, but actually gave us really good foals. Chasing Hearts only won 5 grade 1s. And actually, no, Blues Breeze is a good example. He only won 3 grade 1s, you know. He won 11 races overall, but only 3 of those were grade 1s. That is why I meant to use him as an example, because I'm like, he only won 3 grade 1s, but we've gotten some fast horses from him. I didn't use him for breeding that often. I think I only used him for 2 or 3 years, so somebody still has him in his pedigree somewhere. I think 2 horses. I don't know who. I'll have to double check. Chasing Heart, she only won 5, and she's arguably given us, in recent memory, some of our strongest horses on track. You know what I mean? Awesome Autumn has given us Cleopatra, September Sky. She only won 7. You know, like you're kind of catching the vibe here. Toxic Blonde, her and Diamond Plan have given us something special in Point Black. I don't know if I'm using her for breeding, but she's fast as heck. You know, like, the point is, like, you don't have to have double-digit grade 1s to still get good originals. I just feel like that's a myth in the community. Like, you just need to breed the right horses and you'll be fine. That's what I believe. That's my philosophy. You don't even have to adhere to that. But if you're new and you're playing this game, don't feel pressured like you have to achieve maximum potential with your horses. As long as you do well enough and you use the right breeding pairs, you can get some amazing horses, because there's still some RNG in this game, you know, like, no matter how closely you try to get the perfect match, the game could still send you something that's just completely different, right? Or a little bit off of what you want. You have to be flexible for that. So we'll take a look at Cafe Bronco, 2-year-old colt. His tack, just decided to give him just a orange shadow roll, and he has the 4 bandages. I thought that'd be a pretty fitting look for him. And his first test will be in the open 6 furlong sprint, Common Inspector. Next horse up, 2-year-old colt. Will also be in an open by Gentle House out of Black Ruby. Check his tat out. His tack. Just gave him the purple hood. He's got the gray and purple bandages there. No shadow roll. Thought that was a pretty good fit for him. Flying Home. She'll be in an open 6 furlong sprint. Filly. By He Stargazing out of Real Happy. And this is her tack. A little bit different. Very different. Not very different. White shadow roll is pretty cliche, but the green and pink, I just wanted her to stand out. That was really it. And I felt like the other color combinations just weren't doing it for me. But then I think about it. I just got this weird color scheme in my head, and I don't know why. I feel like I've never used this color for tack as far as the bandages. I'll do that for Flying Home for now. Maybe I'll go back to the green and the pink. Revenge, 2-year-old colt, up in a grade 3 in his first debut. Race by Gentle House out of Butterfly Effect. Project Horse of Mines, really looking forward to him. There was his tack, blue hood. In fact, I went through that way too quickly. I apologize. So yeah, bandages on his back 2 legs. That's it. Rock You Hurricane, another Project Horse of Mines. by Golden Boy out of Free Fear. I'm hoping this horse will finally be the Golden Boy horse that redeems him as a sire, because he hasn't really given us great horses. Like Sedate Ruler, Sedate Ruler's kind of hit or miss. There's Rocky Hurricane. I'm hopeful for him, but we'll see. Whispering Gold. Whispering Gold and Extreme Kick will be in grade 1s. Whispering Gold, 2-year-old colt, will be up in the Normandy Sprint by Gentle House out of Chasing Hearts. I just mentioned Chasing Hearts. She didn't win a lot of grade 1s, but she's given us some of our best originals in this game so far. We haven't done primary yellow like that, so I thought that'd be a good look for him. And last but not least, Extreme Kick. She'll be up in the Liquor Stakes on the dirt by Formal Opera out of Toxic Blonde. Second time I think I've used this pairing, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe the first time. But Toxic Blonde, again, another Hall of Famer that didn't win a bunch of grade 1s. And we'll make sure they know she's very extreme. Hopefully she will be in regards to her winning performance. But we'll have to wait and see. 4 races coming up, 2 opens or 3 opens, and a grade 1. Either way, let's get to it. My goal in each episode is always to at least do 8 races. Minimum. So Common Inspector is up. Where do I have room for you? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where to write this in my notes. So here we are with Comet Inspector up in the open. And we'll see how our boy does for the first time. Second favorite behind Extreme Merit. I'm not mad at that. I really don't want favoritism on most of my horses unless they should win. Beautiful Guy by Gentle House out of Black Ruby. He should be strong. Gentle House has been a really good sire for us. Black Ruby's given us pretty good horses as well. So, Common Inspector, I feel like he could kind of be like a Galaxy Star type of horse, but like obviously in the Colt Stud form. So I'm hoping that's what we'll get out of him, but we'll have to wait and see, right? 6 furlong sprint. I don't even know what his distance is. He probably doesn't run 6. He's probably at least a miler. In fact, most of our horses are at least milers. Most of them don't come out being 6 furlong horses, right? We don't really have sprinters like that. Because I haven't really focused on just pure sprinting lines in this game compared to the other games, but we're getting there. We have the proper parents now where we can create some real sprinters, so you'll start seeing more of that, I'm sure. I wonder if he's a front runner. I didn't even intend to send him to the lead. I just kind of let him do his thing. He's probably I'm hoping he's at least a procedure. I don't know if we have last corner leader, so I should probably get him going now. Now let's see how he fights. He does have last corner leader, but I waited a little bit too late. I kind of hesitated, so that's my fault. So we may not get this win here today. In fact, we may fall out of the top 3, and we are. That's my fault. I kind of hesitated coming around turn 4. I don't really know why, because I certainly could have given him more of a boost, and I did not do that. Oh man, the growing pains are real. We are moving into that new transition. Position was A, so he's at least a preceder to a front runner. Yeah, I messed up on the spurt. That's my fault. Just kind of fell asleep there. Cafe Bronco, he's up. I hate that was Common Inspector's first open, but again, I messed up on the spurt. That could have been at least a top 2. I wasn't expecting us to win it, but we should have finished top 2. Cafe Bronco, only 4th favorite. Look at these fields, though. Every race I've ran today has genuinely been a competitive field of at least 7 horses minimum that could win. That's so unusual. Which to me just means there's actually a lot of good horses in my playthrough that are in the game at once, which is also rare. That doesn't happen. Usually we get 2 or 3 really good horses, and then the rest of the fields are kind of garbage, but we're getting pretty competitive fields, so I guess it's a good time to be racing against a lot of the best horses, or at least a lot of the better horses, especially as we're introducing some of our newest strong horses. We really want to see where they match up. If we can't win these races, then obviously we have to know we need to make some improvements for breeding. So let me taking a quick break right here, and we'll get into this race, this open, with Cafe Bronco. All right, Cafe Bronco, open this open. See how our boy does. Buy Gentle House out of Tigris or Stone. Could technically be the next East Side band because we're using the same mother, just different father, different sire, and Gentle House was a little bit stronger than Diamond Plan, so could be another Tigris or Stone. But if that was the case, probably would be the favorite here, even if we were running 6 furlongs. But I'm not going to assume. We'll just have to wait and see. So let's see how Cafe Bronco does. Probably be a proceeder, so I should just run him as such. In fact, I should do that with all of my horses and then just try to figure out the leg types from there, right? Probably be the best thing to do. I'm sure I've said that at some point, but, you know, sometimes I forget. It's been a weird day. We haven't hit 2 of our goals out of 6 races. That's more than usual. I feel like it's usually 1 every 10 races I may not hit a goal, but 2 and 6 is kind of a high frequency. But again, I feel like we've been racing against some competitive fields, honestly. Like, these aren't easy horses to beat. Now, Cafe Bronco's on cruise control right now. I like the feel. Now, let's see how he runs. No last corner leader, but I didn't even give him a chance to get into the lead. It's just us in the 5 here. It's just us and Danger Mirror. Do we have an answer? Can Cafe Bronco outlast this horse in the stretch? Danger Mirror, Cafe Bronco, their stretch burst. That could give us the edge. And Cafe Bronco's going to break his maiden and get his first win in a photo. Let's go, my boy. That's what I want to see from Cafe Bronco. I feel something special with him, man. It could be the recipe. Use anybody connected to Tigris of Stone on the broodmare side, breed that with a really strong stud, and you can get awesome horses. That might be like the secret recipe for our horses on his playthrough. Cafe Bronco, impressive win. Looks beautiful out there too. Love it. It's a good win, man. That feels like a really strong win because we were supposed to finish 4th. You know what I mean? So those are wins I really, really do like to have. And again, there's no pressure. Like, if I would have finished 3rd, I would have been happy. If I would have finished, 2nd, even 4th, I would have been like, okay, we have work to do. The fact that we won that, I think, says a lot. So I'm very happy with that performance and almost a perfect race. So Cafe Bronco already looking like he's going to be a very good and reliable horse for us in the future. Excited to see what he'll continue to provide. Rapid Blade. Still trying to figure her out. Project Horse, 4th favorite. I think she's still developed. Yeah, she's only 4. She's not going to hit her peak until next year at least. But she's getting closer to that window of when she's got to start winning some bigger races. So I got to get her dialed in soon. She doesn't have a great heart rating. That's the only thing holding her back. And it'd be such a shame if she didn't work out. Because she's like the last horse I have that's actually connected to the Great Bolero. So if we were to lose with her, then that'd be it. There would be nothing left connected to the Great Bolero pedigree in this game as far as my originals that I can actually race. And that would be very sad. Great Bolero was such a rarity of a horse because that was so early game. And we just didn't have good enough brood mares to really use with him and to build off of his pedigree. You know what I mean? Like, if we had the brood mares that we have now, and we used them with the Great Bolero, I mean, gosh, his pedigree would probably be the strongest we've had in the game, but we just didn't have the access to the quality broodmares that we have now, you know what I mean? We weren't producing fillies like that. Bionic Club and Scabbit produced the Great Bolero. Scabbit was like my strongest broodmare back then. And it was a while before we had another one be as strong as her, so You know, just kind of bad timing for him. We're not Max Stam. I'm a little bit worried. Not going to lie. But we're the fourth favorite. We're not supposed to win, so we'll see. But she's holding pretty nicely, so that's actually a good sign. Maybe she'll be alright. She does have last corner leader. Like I said, it helps you out a lot, man. She doesn't even need to win this race, but she might just hold on. And she's just going to do it. Oh, let's go, Rapid Blade. That's a tough race. That's a tough race to win, and she still gets it done on the dirt. Keep in mind, I still think she's supposed to be a turf horse. I'm running her on the dirt because I know she has it in her pedigree. You know what I mean? But I think her preference is actually turf, and she wins that, and she wasn't supposed to. That's a great win. So yeah, we're not winning big graded stakes races, but these are races we have to win right now. Not saying the other ones didn't matter, but again, we shouldn't have been the favorite in those races anyways. I still feel we were a little bit outclassed. Eastern Knife. I think this is where we will see how it goes. Diamond Cup, GWS Turf Territory, second favorite behind Social Brain. Look at this field. I'm not exaggerating, people. 8 out of 10 horses could win this race. Happy Crystal still isn't even a terrible horse. I just think it's outclassed a bit here. But seriously, it's an 11-horse field. At least 9 to 8 out of these horses can win. That's crazy, man. Like, I'm not exaggerating, right? Like, we're getting stacked against some pretty decent fields. Again, this doesn't happen that often in the game. We really should win, though. Eastern Knife is stacked across the board, so. No grade 1s today. That's kind of a bummer. Usually, especially if I'm doing, like, separate videos, there's always at least one grade 1. But, like I said, it's been tough today. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. Keeps me on my toes. Make sure I need to zero in on things I need to zero in on. Things I still needed to improve and do better at. And just be more mindful of certain horses and their limits. Like, just because a horse has 91 speed doesn't mean that horse should be running 10 or 11 furlongs, right? With like 59 stamp. You still have to be reasonable. So, we should win this with Eastern Knife. Social Brain's a good horse, though. It's not like it's a guaranteed win for us, but as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, we should hopefully get the dub. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, as most of the races have been. Heck, even our opens and grade 3s have been pretty close, man. You know, so it's not like it's just the grade 1s or, you know, the higher staked races. Like, every race we've ran in today has been competitive with at least 5 horses that had a chance to win. It's just a matter of how close they were at the end. So, no grade 2s today. We've ran everything but grade 2s. That's a bit unusual. Slow down, my boy. Sorry. Kind of got lost in the sauce there a little bit. Thought the downhill was done, and apparently we were still running on it, but we're okay now. Social Brain is way back there, so 12-9. Yeah, this is okay. Now, getting a grade 1 win right now would obviously make everything feel a lot better. One tough decision I'm going to have to make, which I don't remember if I told you guys in the last episode, but going to have to reduce the number of horses we breed with every year. So every year we can't do 8 horses. We're going to have to start doing half of that, 2 to 4 tops of breeding, and we're going to have to be very selective. So I don't know if I'm going to come up with the breeding pairs and then have you guys vote. That way you still have some say. But yeah, we're not really in the position of being able to breed 8 horses anymore, because I'm just not trying to play with like 40 or 50 horses in this game. That's not enjoyable. I need to still keep it pretty limited. So, oh, it's a tough race as I expected. It is a tough race. Eastern Knife is here, but he can pull away. He can pull away. Social Brain on the outside. Half a furlong to go, and Social Brain got us. Nothing I can do. That's a good horse. I've lost to that horse before. That's why I'm like, this is not a guaranteed win. Social Brain is a good horse. Oh, why are they stacking the deck against me, man? They're gonna give me a B for the spurt. I think I did as much as I could. As great as Eastern Knife is, Social Brain's a really good horse in this game, man. Like, you know, it's I've lost to that horse several times. Like, that's a horse that does beat me on the right day and the right occasion. So it's like I can't be too upset with that. That's crazy. There's a racing driver, race car driver, female driver. She races in some like smaller series. For those of you that are into motorsports, she's a pretty gal, close to my age. And sometimes I'll just post about, I'll just kind of retweet stuff that she posts on Instagram or repost, like add it to your story. You know how that goes. And she's liked my stuff a couple of times. And she's like famous, dude. She has like 500,000 followers. She's like legit. She's raced for some real teams. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, she races for Toyota. Actually, she has 1.1 million followers. I'm a nobody. Keep in mind, I'm not famous or anything. I just have like just a kind of a profile for like family and friends. But like, she's liked it, so that's pretty cool. Man, it is tough. I feel like every time I'm gonna have an easy year in this game, that's when it literally gets the hardest. I really felt like this was gonna be a pretty easy summer for us, and like it is for East Side Band and horses like her. But like, it's tough everywhere else, man. And in the midst of all that toughness, we're still leading in every category. We still have 20 grade ones on the year. We still have a 57% win average, which means I'm still winning my races more than I'm losing. And we've earned $250,000. So, like, it's not a bad year. I just feel like once you get to a point where you're used to having certain levels of success, yeah, like when you have those races where you're not winning, it does feel like a big deal. But it's like you're still doing well. We're still doing fine. So sometimes I have to be realistic. There are races I've dropped that, yeah, I think should be wins, but that happens. Everybody does that plays this game. Seriously. Everybody does it. So I have to remind myself I'm not like alone. Even people that are extremely good at this game and better than me, I know you've dropped races. Don't act like you haven't. We've all dropped races that we should have won. It happens. So, man, Rapid Blade ended up getting that win. That was great. That was her 5th win. Still on a slow grind. I want to use her for breeding. I at least want to get 2 or 3 foals out of her, just because she's still connected to the Bolero. So I would love for her to be a Hall of Famer. It's looking a bit tough, but she's still growing. But I don't know if she'll be a Hall of Famer, because I don't know if she still needs a little bit more kick at the end. Grade 2 California. I feel like I gotta put her in a race like that at some point, or the Grade 2 Daily Crown. That might be better. Maybe I should keep her a little bit lower than like 10. Might be worth a shot, or she could. I don't know. I still don't know about what's best for her, so I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. 88 Stam. I really should have taken advantage of that in that Grade 1. I feel like I kind of... Yeah, that's a race I definitely dropped, but we were supposed to finish 2nd, so I hit my goal. But gosh, Eastern Knife is actually really good. Oh, he's really good. I just hear voices in my head of just like people saying, you should do this, you should do that, even though I know I shouldn't care, because like I'm doing my own thing on YouTube. So like if you don't like it, you just have to do your own thing. But I'm my own worst critic as well. So when I lose races, I'm just beating myself up about it, because I'm like, I could have done better and I didn't. That's just how I am. That's the competitive nature in me. When I know I could win something and then I don't, I will always beat myself up about that. Or at least when I should have a good chance to do something. Like when I go racing and like I could win like my heat in racing and then have a time that is way lower than where it should be, and like I'll be kicking myself and people be looking at me like I'm crazy, and it's like, you don't understand. I know I can do better and I didn't. Like I may have won, quote unquote, but like I still didn't achieve what I was supposed to do. It's also the perfectionist in me, so I just like to do what's supposed to be done. If I don't, I'm just gonna feel like I let people down. Dublin long stakes. Impulse is too much. You know, I don't routinely run my horses in races where they have major imposts just because I don't want to deal with the extra handicap. But this is an exception because Eastern Knife is stacked and he has 88 stam. I really got to take advantage of that. I kind of forget. I forget how good his endurance is until I race with him, which is kind of sad. So Cafe Bronco, D ranked, 75 power as expected, Procedure as expected, stretch burst with 3. I think it's last corner leader and grit. So yeah, we should be able to win a lot with him, honestly. I would toss him into a grade 1, but since they've told me his minimum distance is 9 furlongs, I'm not even going to do it. Not even going to do it. I'm an inspector. We got to bounce back with you. 9 furlongs minimum for you. Like I said, we don't really have sprinters right now. A lot of our horses are at least strong over a mile. He has 3 abilities as well. Last corner leader. What else? Okay. Let's run him a little bit longer if I can. Let's see how he adjusts. Yeah, let's run him 9 furlongs. Hopefully that's a bit better for him. Anybody else I'm missing? No, that's it. Oh yeah, let's continue to show you the rest. No, I think I showed you guys attack of all of our horses. So, still a lot to be done, man. I mean, we're just still getting into the meat and bones of the summer racing. Like that was just a very clear and loud wake-up call as far as kind of how things have went today. But we still have so much to do this summer. So we are not close to being done yet. That is for sure. Let's go ahead and check out the little ones right quick. Let's see, we have 3 4-star future developing 1-year-olds. Going for gold. Buy Golden Boy out of Real Happy. I have a strange feeling this could be the one Golden Boy horse that actually turns out good because, again, both families are completely set. I've noticed with every one of our strongest originals in this game, their pedigree charts look like this, where they're completely equal on both sides. You know what I mean? I clearly think that's kind of a recipe and a formula in some way that Tecmo wrote into the game. Going for gold, she has Western Tiger, Honest Pegasus, Vivid Legend, and Arctic Crop. Those are great sires to have in your pedigree. And then mothers, she just has Aunt B, Lee's Gold, Pink Gemstone, some real gutsy speedsters. So like she should be really good. The other 4-star developer, Falling Stars by Fairy Singer and Galaxy Star. Galaxy Star is an awesome pedigree with Vivid Legend, Arctic Crop, Chasing Hearts. I think that's probably going to be the majority of this colt strength, but we'll see. And then Phoenix Rising, this 1-year-old filly, by Gentle House of the Black Ruby. Her sister is already on track, or her brother, in Common Inspector. Yeah, they're full siblings. Both really strong horses, so that's not a surprise. Heart of Stone, pretty average development. Same thing with Big Friday. Perfect for You Made Me Promise. 3 stars across the board so far. So that's the 1-year-olds. Let's take a look at the 5 newlyborns. Speed Demon Colt by Golden Boy out of My Master. Should be fast. I hope My Master doesn't actually hinder this horse's abilities, but we'll see. Rosette Eureka, Gentle House and Cleopatra. Should be amazing. I have no doubts about that filly at all. Could be another Eastside band. And another Eastside band with Margarita Island by Formal Opera out of Tigris of Stone. Tigris of Stone is the secret recipe to the Eastside band horses, clearly. So hoping that'll be the case here with Margarita Island. Formal Opera has been successful with every one of his foals, so no reason to believe she won't be. Monarch by Joker's Card out of Butterfly Effect. Could be a sleeper. Could be a sleeper horse. Joker's Card did well enough, wasn't a Hall of Famer, but he has a good pedigree with Diamond Plan, Arctic Crop, and Chasing Hearts on his side, so Monarch should be amazing. And last but not least, Astrophysicist by He's Stargazing out of Free Fear. Again, nobody should really be bad. It's just a matter of how good they'll actually be. I think that's where we are with our foals right now, or our horses in general. None going forward should be terrible, but whether they'll be Hall of Famers or not, I guess that's the question, so we'll see. That'll do it, though, for this episode. I'm going to take a quick break before I get back into the recording session because, man, that was a lot. I'm not used to racing so many good horses in one span of playthrough time. Usually those races are kind of spread out, but that was it's been a while since we've had a kind of a grind like that. But nonetheless, we'll continue racing on, and we still have plenty of racing left to go in the summer here in year 40. Appreciate you guys for love and support. Remember to join our Discord below if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time on the next Gallop Racer upload. HRG signing out. Hope you have a great fantastic day. See you later. Goodbye.